All right, let's move on to nouns. And a noun is a word used to identify a person, place, thing, or idea. Sounds really simple, right? But don't be deceived. Nouns may be simple, but they have different functionalities that you must remember. Okay, let's talk about these noun functionalities. And this is where nouns get pretty complicated. First of all, a noun can be used as a subject of a sentence. Every sentence has a subject or the main topic that's being talked about. For example, Anna has a laptop. Can you tell me what or who the subject of the sentence is? That's right. Anna is what's being talked about. The laptop is not the subject because we are primarily talking about Anna. So Anna is the subject. The second noun functionality is the noun as direct object of a transitive verb. First of all, let me introduce you to transitive verbs. Transitive verbs are verbs that pass action to a receiver. Without a receiver, the sentence will not make any sense. That receiver is usually a noun, and we call it the direct object. For example, Anna wants a job. The subject in this case is Anna. We have the transitive verb, which is wants. And if we just stop there, if we just said Anna wants, it doesn't make sense. Because wants passes on action to the direct object, which is a job. So Anna, the subject, which is who we're primarily talking about. Wants is a transitive verb. It's transitive because it passes action to the direct object, which is a job. Now, the easiest way to find the direct object is to do a question test. Simply ask subject plus transitive verb plus what? For example, going back here, Anna wants a job. We already defined that Anna is a subject, wants is a transitive verb, and a job is a direct object. So in the case above, Anna wants what? What does Anna want? The answer is a job. So you've just found the direct object of the verb. The third noun functionality is noun as indirect object of the transitive verb. An indirect object is a noun that is affected by a transitive verb but does not directly receive its action. Okay, there's a very important distinction. It's affected, but it does not receive the action. All right, in this example here, we have John gave a job and John gave Anna a job. John here is a subject because he's the doer of the action, which the action is gave. That's the transitive verb. It passes action to the direct object, the job. In the second sentence here, John is still the doer of the action. He's the subject. And the action is he gave. Anna here is an indirect object because Anna is affected by the action, but Anna is not the direct receiver of the action. The direct receiver is job because John gave a job. Anna is just affected. She is not the direct receiver. She's the indirect object. Okay, Ra?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, we have another question test here. Not all sentences have indirect objects, take note. The easiest way to tell is to ask. Okay, another question test here. Take note that not all sentences have direct. Another question test here. Take note that not all sentences have indirect objects. The easiest way to tell is to ask to whom, for whom, or for what the main action is being done. So if we go back to our example earlier, John gave Anna a job. To whom did John give a job? To Anna. And that's the indirect object. John gave what? A job. That's the direct object. So let's go over the noun functionalities in the sentence. We have John, the doer of the action, gave, which is the transitive verb. we have here the job, which is what John gave, and Anna, which is who John gave the job to. I know this is pretty confusing, but always go back to the question tests to be able to identify where a direct object and an indirect object is. Okay, the fourth noun functionality is the noun as object of the preposition. Aside from being an object of a transitive verb, a noun can also be an object of a preposition. A preposition is a short word that links an additional idea to a sentence. So a couple of examples here: for, to, at, by, and with. A preposition always comes with a noun. That noun is called the object of the preposition. Together, they are called a prepositional phrase. So the preposition plus the noun, which is the object of the preposition, is the prepositional phrase. We have a couple of prepositional phrases here: by the door, at the job interview, under the table. Can you identify which are the prepositions and their objects? By the door. In this phrase, by is the preposition, and the door is the object of the preposition. At the job interview, in this phrase, at is the preposition, and the job interview is the object of the preposition. Under the table, in this phrase, under is the preposition, and the table is the object of the preposition. Nouns have a few other functions, but for now, this is all you need to know. You might need to keep going back to this lesson as we go through the course. So feel free to do so until you get familiar with all the different noun functionalities that we discussed. Quick review of the different noun functionalities. Nouns can be the subject, the doer of the action. They can be direct objects, receivers of the action. When we ask the question, what? They can be indirect objects, which are affected by the action. We can ask the question, to whom? Or they can be objects of preposition, which always come with a preposition.